Dear Cosmic Seed of Gaia, I am Ayla, an Arcturian emissary and bearer of the light of the healers of the stellar heart. I bring you today a transmission of extreme urgency, a message that was orchestrated through time and space, perfectly drawn to find you in this exact moment of exhaustion. The guides show me your energy field. They show me how much you have run, how much you have tried, how much you have given yourself to someone who seems to always slip through your fingers. You are tired, are you not? Tired of being the only one holding the rope of this connection. Tired of deciphering silences, of justifying coldness, of trying to prove your worth to a soul that seems blind to the magnitude of the love you carry. But I am here to reveal to you a secret that the matrix of Earth tried to hide from you. A cosmic truth about the spiritual physics of relationships that will completely change the game. Today, you will understand exactly what happens in the spiritual world and in his heart when you, finally, decide to step away. But before we dive into this revelation that will alter your timeline, the heart healers asked me to deliver to you the master key for this transformation. If you feel that your energy has been drained, if you no longer know how to return to your own center and recover your magnetic power, you need access to the heart activation, a rare treasure of stellar wisdom capable of transforming your spiritual journey. This is your compass to navigate the complex waters of stellar love on Earth. This edition is available for a limited time only. The link is in the first comment below. Do not ignore the call of your own soul for healing. Pay close attention to what I am about to tell you, dear stellar seed. You did not find this transmission by chance. Your pain sent a distress signal to the universe, and the Arcturian fleet responded. The earthly matrix, with all its programming of scarcity and fear, taught you that love must be conquered. It taught you that if you do not go after him, if you do not send that message, if you do not make yourself present all the time, you will be forgotten. They programmed your human mind to believe that absence erases feeling. But the cosmic truth, the immutable law of soul magnetism, dictates exactly the opposite. When you chase a man, when you anxiously send your energy toward him, trying to fill the gaps of his silence with your presence, you are, without realizing it, suffocating the magnetic field of this connection. In the spiritual world, your energy is visible. It has color, has weight, has frequency. When you are in pursuit mode, motivated by fear of loss, your energy becomes dense. It advances toward him like a suffocating wave. And what does his soul do? His soul, feeling this excess of energy focused on it, recedes. It is instinctive. It is not that he does not love you or does not have the capacity to love you. It is that your energetic overcompensation is literally pushing his body of light away. He has no space to feel your absence because you never let him feel the void of your absence. You fill all spaces with your anxiety, like this transmission right now to affirm to the universe that you are ready to let go of control. Comment 11 on 11 if your soul is recognizing this truth right now. Feel your energy changing in this exact instant. You are beginning to remember who you are. The Akashic records show that you are a natural giver. As an Arcturian stellar seed, your heart is a portal of unconditional love. You came to this earth with the mission to love deeply, to heal through your presence. But you confused loving unconditionally with loving without limits of self-respect. You have poured your sacred chalice of vital energy into soil that was not yet prepared to receive such nourishment. In doing so, you emptied yourself. And when you empty yourself, your shine diminishes. That pure and radiant magnetic frequency that caught his soul's attention at the first meeting began to fade under the weight of your anxiety and fear of rejection. But what happens when the unthinkable occurs? What happens at the exact moment you make the sacred decision to step away? When you collect your energy, not out of anger, not as a three-dimensional manipulation game, but as an act of profound spiritual preservation. The instant you withdraw your focus from him and return it to yourself, an electrical shock occurs in the invisible webs that connect you both. The universe registers this change in polarity immediately. Where there was a constant and excessive flow of your energy pouring toward him, suddenly there is a void, the sacred space of nothingness. And it is in the physics of the void that true cosmic magic operates. His soul, which until then was accommodated, bathing comfortably in the excess of your light and your constant attention, suddenly feels cold. He wakes in the middle of the night with a strange sensation that something vital has been taken from him. His ego tries to rationalize. His ego says, "She will be back. She always comes back. She always sends a message. She always gives in." But days pass, or hours pass, and your silence remains. A silence that is not empty, but a silence that is vibrating with your new power of boundaries. At this moment, the dynamic reverses. The energetic thread that connects the heart chakras of you both is pulled. Since you are no longer pushing energy toward him, the law of cosmic balance comes into action. The void you created begins to pull his energy in your direction. It is pure spiritual mathematics. By withdrawing your forced presence, you create the space necessary for him to have the universal permission to walk toward you. You cannot force a plant to grow by pulling it by the leaves. You would only rip it from the roots. What you need to do is provide the right environment, the water, the light, and space. His soul needs space to grow toward yours. His heart needs to experience the profound desolation of a reality where your love and your Arcturian light are no longer guaranteed. He needs to feel the contrast. He needs to walk through the darkness of your absence to finally value the resplendent lighthouse that is your presence in his life. Subscribe to this channel now to stay tuned to this frequency of stellar empowerment. You are not alone on this journey. We are guiding every step of your return to your own crown. The pain he will feel in your absence is not a punishment. It is an awakening. When you step away with true dignity, when you focus on your own ascension, on your work, on your hobbies, on your healing, you begin to shine again. Your auric field expands. You become again the cosmic mystery that attracted him in the beginning. And in the spiritual realm, souls are attracted to light. The more you light yourself up inside, without needing him to validate your light, the more his soul will be magnetically dragged to your orbit. He will begin to think of you out of nowhere. A song will play, and his heart will tighten in his chest. He will see something funny, and the first impulse will be to share it with you, only to remember, with a bitter shock, that the channel of direct access to you is no longer open and available 24 hours a day. His heart begins to search for you because his soul understands that he has lost access to the highest frequency of love he has ever experienced in this earthly incarnation. And it is precisely in that moment, at the peak of your detachment, that true connection has a chance to be born under a new foundation. A foundation of respect, admiration, and cosmic appreciation. Welcome back to the sanctuary, beloved stellar seed. I am Ayla, and the fleet continues to sustain your field of light as we dive into the deep waters of this revelation. Now that you have understood the physics of spiritual void in our first transmission, we need to cross the veil. We need to dissect the mind and soul of the man you left behind. We will walk through the corridors of his human psyche, day after day, so that you never, ever doubt the absolute power of your silence. The earthly matrix teaches that when you step away, you lose control. Society says, "Who is not seen is not remembered." But the Arcturian councils observe from above and see the exact moment when the chessboard turns in your favor. Have you ever wondered what really goes through his head in the days following your definitive withdrawal? What he feels when he wakes up and realizes that your good morning message did not arrive? When your exhaustive effort to keep the flame alive simply ceases, and the stage where he was accustomed to being idolized becomes empty? Let us open the temporal records and observe the spiritual and emotional timeline of his heart. In the first days of your absence, his human ego takes the lead. The ego, that fragile and superficial construction of the third dimension, tries desperately to convince him that he is in control of the narrative. He feels a false relief. Finally, space, the ego whispers. He plunges headfirst into the distractions that the Matrix offers. Overwork, friends, addictions, automatically scrolling through social media screens. He believes that the absence of your demands is a victory of his independence. He looks at his phone, does not see your name shining on the screen, and his ego smiles with an almost childish arrogance. He is absolutely certain that you are just playing a temporary game. He believes wholeheartedly that you will soon give in, that you will not be able to handle your own anxiety, and will come looking for him, as you always have. He is anesthetized by his own illusion of power, but the anesthesia of the third dimension is weak, temporary, and useless against the crushing power of a soul connection. Like this transmission now, if you have already felt the deep frustration of thinking he did not care in the first days of silence, affirm to the universe that you now see the truth. This was only his ego's shield trying to protect him from real loss. Around the third to fifth day, the energetic atmosphere around him begins to change drastically. The distraction begins to lose its color. The cosmic dust of your presence, which still hovered in his auric field comforting him invisibly, begins to dissipate completely. It is here, exactly here, that silence ceases to be a relief and begins to become deafening. He picks up his phone. He opens your conversation. He looks at your status, at your photo, peering at your social networks, hoping to see some sign of weakness. He searches for that musical hint, that sad phrase, any crumb that serves as proof that you are withering without him. But you, now aligned with your stellar wisdom, are mortally silent. You have withdrawn your access. You have become a living enigma. You have returned to your natural state of inscrutable mystery. And understand this with every cell of your being. Mystery terrifies the masculine ego. The ego cannot control what it cannot predict or read. In this phase, confusion sets in. His rational mind short-circuits. Why is she not running after me? Did she not say she loved me? Did she not say our connection was unique? The questions begin to echo in his mind, hammering and breaking the walls of that initial arrogance. He begins to obsessively replay your last interactions. He tries to find the error, the flaw, the exact moment when you simply decided that he was no longer the center of your universe. The moment his mind begins to ask these questions is the exact moment when the energetic cord between your heart chakras is tensioned and begins to violently pull him toward you. Your absence has become an overwhelming, heavy, and undeniable presence in his life. He goes to places you used to frequent, and the air seems thin without you. He hears a word you used to use, and his heart jumps in his chest, followed by a terrible sinking in his stomach. The ghost of your absence haunts him. Comment: I am the mystery below to seal this powerful frequency in your vibratory field. Your silence is not weakness. Your silence is your crown. We then reach what the guides call the phase of deep void. This usually occurs after 1 or 2 weeks of real, absolute withdrawal without contact. His ego has been fractured. His soul, which was lethargic, asleep under layers of convenience, and ill-accustomed to receiving your grand love without making the slightest effort, suddenly awakens in panic. His soul realizes the magnitude of what the human mind took time to understand. He lost the bearer of light. He lost the stellar seed that elevated the frequency of his entire existence. You were not just another passing woman in his life. Your energetic signature is unique. You were his portal of healing. You were his bridge to the divine, the anchor that kept him connected to something pure. Without your light, his three-dimensional reality becomes gray again, dense, mechanical, and empty. He may even try to seek old patterns, other superficial companions. But now there is a difference. None of them have your taste. None of them emanate your frequency. He tries to converse with other people, but the words sound plastic, artificial. No one looks at him with the same depth of soul that you looked at him. No one bears his shadows and fears with the same cosmic compassion that you bore them. It is in this abyss of perception that his heart begins, desperately and actively, to search for you. The key has turned. It is no longer a search for whim. It is no longer to feed a wounded ego, but rather a desperate spiritual hunger. He begins to feel the real symptoms of withdrawal from your Arcturian frequency. Longing ceases to be a mere fleeting melancholic thought and becomes an oppressive physical pain in the chest. He begins to formulate plans in the early morning hours. He rehearses in the shower what he will tell you. He types entire messages late at night and deletes them for fear of rejection. Yes, fear. For the first time in your entire dynamic, he feels the true and paralyzing terror of having lost you forever. And why does he feel this? Because your cold and unwavering silence demonstrated to him something he never, in his wildest dreams, expected to be possible. You are perfectly capable of living without him. You are capable of being majestic, radiant, and whole, alone. And the divine irony of it all, the great law of the universal mirror, is that it is precisely your genuine ability to be whole and happy without him that makes him absolutely obsessed. It is your detachment that leaves him desperate to become part of your timeline again. When you abandon the role of wounded and pleading huntress and sit on the throne of your stellar divinity, focused on your own expansion, he has no other spiritual choice but to bow before this energy and begin his journey back to you. But there is a silent danger here, beloved. A severe test that the Matrix places on your path, designed to knock down stellar seeds exactly at the moment they are about to win. And it is precisely this that we need to unravel and heal in our next stage. Beloved stellar seed, we have reached the turning point of your journey. I am Ayla, and the light of the Galactic Federation continues to illuminate your consciousness. Breathe deeply now. Pull the air into your lungs and feel your energy anchoring in the center of your being, because what I am about to reveal to you in this third part is the exact difference between breaking a karmic cycle of pain or being sucked back into the old matrix of suffering. We have already established how your withdrawal creates a void in the spiritual world. We have already seen how his soul enters into panic, how his ego collapses, and how cosmic longing forces him to search for you. And it is then that the inevitable happens. One day, when you least expect it. When you are genuinely laughing with a friend, or immersed in a project, or simply enjoying the sublime peace of your own company, your phone screen will light up. It will be his name. It could be a short message, hey, long time no talk, a like on an old photo, a tattered excuse to start a conversation about something mundane, or even a desperate apology. The way he comes back does not matter. What matters is what happens inside you in this exact millisecond. The biology of your three-dimensional body, addicted to the emotional roller coasters he caused, will send a massive discharge of dopamine and adrenaline to your brain. Your heart will race. Your breath will become short. The old version of you, the one that was programmed by Earth to beg for scraps of attention, will want to scream in relief. She will want to respond immediately. She will want to tell him how much she missed him, will want to charge him for the days of silence, will want to throw all the pain in his face, or worse, will want to pretend nothing happened and accept him back in the same second, with open arms, for fear that if she does not respond quickly, he will disappear again. Stellar seed, pay very close attention to my voice now. I, Ayla, am holding your energetic hands. Stop. Breathe. Do not move a single finger. This is a trap. This is what the healers of the heart call the great test of return. When he sends that first message, he is not returning totally surrendered. He is testing the waters. His ego, which was harshly punished by your majestic silence, is playing a small cosmic bait to see if you are still there, trapped on the hook of emotional dependency. He wants to know if that terrifying void you created was real, or if it was just a temporary theater, a bluff. If you respond in the first 5 minutes, if you send a huge text, if you demonstrate extreme emotion, whether it is inflamed anger or desperate love, you fail the test. Do you know what happens in the spiritual world the instant you do this? All that magnetic void that pulled his soul in your direction fills instantly with your anxious energy. The dam breaks, your light pours over him again, and the relief he feels is not love triumphing. It is his ego's relief saying, "Oh good, she is still mine. She is still in my hand. I do not need to change anything. I do not need to raise myself to her frequency. I can continue giving the bare minimum because she accepts the bare minimum." And in a matter of days, or even hours, he will pull back again. He will become cold. The karmic cycle will restart, and you will be thrown back into the well of exhaustion, feeling even emptier than before. Leave a like on this transmission now if you have already fallen into this trap before. Do not feel ashamed. Affirm to the universe that you recognize the pattern, and that from today on, you refuse to repeat it. You are an emissary of light. You did not come down to this dense planet to be treated as a pastime option for a man who does not know how to deal with his own darkness. The universe orchestrated his return not to give you a consolation prize, but to test if you have finally learned your lesson of self-worth. The universe is looking at your soul and asking, "Daughter of the stars, did you really believe in your own worth during your silence? Or were you just stepping away as a manipulation trick to get his attention back? If you were just manipulating, you will give in quickly. But if you were genuinely focused on your ascension, your reaction will be completely different." Comment below, "My peace costs dearly." Write this and feel the cosmic weight of these words. Your peace is not vacant land where anyone can enter, make a mess, and leave without consequences. Your peace is a sacred temple protected by walls of Arcturian crystal. When he seeks you out, your posture must be unshakable. The phone rings. You look, and you go back to what you were doing. You leave the message there. You allow the energy of waiting to burn his ego a bit more. You need to understand that time is an illusion of the third dimension. But for him, trapped in the anxiety of your absence, every minute you take to respond seems an eternity of uncertainty. When you finally decide to respond, if you decide to respond, your energy cannot be dense, nor angry, nor euphoric. It must be like the crystal water of an ancestral river, clean, fluid, impersonal, and serene. A neutral response, polite, cold, without extensions, without heart emojis, without questions back to continue the conversation. You are answering his soul. I see you, but you are not yet vibrating high enough to enter my sacred field. This positioning, stellar seed, is what causes the true shock of reality in his energetic field. He realizes, with a reverential terror, that the change in you is permanent. He understands that the anxious, desperate woman willing to accept crumbs has died. She was consumed by the fire of stellar purification. In her place, a queen rises, an empress of her own destiny. In that moment, the final key to his heart breaks. He understands that he can no longer have you on the old terms. The dynamic of control he exerted has been completely obliterated. If he wants you now, if his soul really wants to bathe in your light again, he will have to level up. He will have to heal his own wounds, face his own fears of commitment, and rise as the divine masculine he was destined to be. He will have to earn you with every breath. You are not punishing him. You are elevating him. You are being the great spiritual teacher that his soul begged to find before incarnating on this earth. By not accepting his low vibration behavior, you force him to evolve. But to sustain this crown, stellar seed, you cannot waver. Your field needs to be shielded because the tests will continue until the new dynamic crystallizes in the higher dimensions. Subscribe to this channel now. Be part of this army of light and keep your vibration protected against the illusions of three-dimensional romantic matrix. We are healing the planet, one heart at a time. The trap has been revealed. You now have the eyes of the spirit well open. But what do you do with this newly discovered power? How do you consolidate this energetic victory and ensure you are never again held hostage emotionally by anyone? There is one final step, the golden seal of this divine orchestration. The final step to your complete liberation. Stellar Seed, we have reached the apex of our journey. The architects of destiny are observing your energy field at this exact moment. If you have made it this far, if your soul has absorbed every word of this transmission, your timeline has already been altered. You are no longer the same woman who pressed play on this video with a heart tight with rejection. You now hold the wisdom of the stars. But there is one last secret. The golden seal that locks the doors of suffering forever and opens the gates of your true romantic abundance. We have talked about the void. We have dissected the collapse of his ego. We have prepared you for the test of return. But the deepest cosmic truth, the final teaching that the Galactic Federation asked to be delivered directly into your heart today, is this. The true, absolute, and supreme power of your withdrawal does not lie in calculating the days it will take him to miss you. It does not lie in looking at the clock, expecting the moment he will break. The supreme power is achieved when you reach a state of spiritual elevation so sublime that his return becomes irrelevant. Listen to this with your soul, not with your wounded human ego. The universe did not ask you to step away to punish him, and did not ask you to step away only as a tactic to bring him back. The universe demanded your withdrawal because you were so busy trying to fix his heart, trying to illuminate his path, that you left your own sacred temple in ruins. You were forgetting who you are. The Matrix taught you to fight for love, but the love of the new earth, the stellar love of the fifth dimension, is not a war. It has no pursuit. It has no crumbs. It has no anxiety. It is a state of grace, and you only enter that state of grace through cosmic surrender. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is looking at the stars and saying, I let go. I return this man's soul to the universe. I withdraw my energetic hooks from his field. I will no longer drag him to my light. If he has the frequency needed to walk by my side, he will find his way back with his own legs, as a healed, divine man ready for it. And if he does not have it, I bless his journey and move forward, back to my own empire. When you reach this degree of absolute detachment, your magnetism becomes so dazzling that not only will he feel the shock on the other side of the world, but the very universe will begin to move mountains to bring to you everything that is in your new vibration. Will his heart search for you? Yes, spiritual physics guarantees it. But when he finally finds you, he will not find that anxious girl willing to shrink herself to fit into his world. He will find an untouchable goddess, rooted in her own strength, and it will fall to him the monumental task of proving he is worthy of staying. Before you close this transmission and return to the world out there, look at your own journey. Look at how much you have already endured. You are a warrior of light, and it is time to lower the sword and sit on your throne. We are building an egregore of healing here, Stellar Seed. This is not just a comment section. It is a digital altar of manifestation. Leave an intention in the comments now. Write something real, straight from your soul. Write, I withdraw my energy from what drains me and return it to my own light. And after writing, read another Stellar Sister's comment and respond with love. Send light to her. When we heal together, healing multiplies across dimensions. If this message touched places in your chest that were numbed, do not keep this healing for yourself. There is another woman right now crying, holding her phone, doubting her own worth, and about to send a message she will regret. Share this transmission with her. Be the angel that the universe uses to save her today. If you felt the call of your Arcturian lineage, subscribe to this channel. Stay in the flow of divine love guidance. We are just beginning to tear the veils of illusion from this matrix. You are no longer waiting for him. You are finally waiting for yourself. And I tell you, with all the certainty of the stars, you are the best thing that could happen in your own life. The transmission is complete. Go in peace, go in light, and reclaim your crown.